Hello and welcome to Bite Size Bambi Cinema, where I give my rapid-fire thoughts of the movies on my mind. Today's movie of choice, Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead man, tail now, tails. The plot. A deadly ghost pirate by the name of Captain Salazar, played by Javier Bardem, has seemingly escaped this place known as the Devil's Triangle, along with his crew, and is pretty much taking over all the highest seas while in search for his arch-nemesis and the author of all his unwilling pain, Jack Sparrow. The Captain Jack Sparrow, that is. Played once again by Johnny, I pray to God there's a Sweeney Todd 2 I can work on soon, Depp. While that's going on, Jack finds himself approached by a young boy named Henry, played by Brenton Thwaites, who has the dire need to locate the Trident of Poseidon, something that he believes only the legendary Sparrow can help him to locate. Later on, Karina Smith, played by Kaya Scodelario, an astronomer and horologist, soon joins the team to help them find something that she pretty much believes that her father had always wanted and meant for her to find. Now, Jack's one and only hope is to find this mythical Trident of Poseidon, whose master is able to get control of all of the seas. Or maybe it's just BS. Is it? Check it out and see. Positives. Johnny Depp is still as witty as ever in his most famous role of Captain Jack Sparrow. Savvy. Granted, he may not sound as fresh or even as bold as he used to, but I still found him to be quite a delight every time he was on screen. Then again, maybe after watching both of the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movies, Jack Sparrow just seems more like a breath of fresh air. Keep in mind, Depp's Mad Hatter is easily one of the best things about either of those movies. Makes you think. Aside from the weird breakdance. Anyway, moving on. It was also nice to see some other returning cast members like Martin Kleba, Jeffrey Rush, and Kevin McNally, who slipped right back into their characters like a glove. Although I feel they kind of lost their accents in a few scenes. Character accents, not their real accents, of course. Javier Bardem makes for quite the threatening baddie in this film as Captain Salazar, and makes do with a great performance, especially when you consider the technology it took to help him create this paranormal character. I also like the strange Lady Haifa, I believe she's called. She's weird, but also quite cool as well. She's the one who bargains with Barbossa towards the beginning, in case you didn't know. There's also a Paul McCartney cameo. It is hilarious. That is all I wish to say. I also think the visuals are highly imaginative in terms of the designs of some of the ships and also some of the creatures that the characters come across, like those awesome ghost sharks. Sci-Fi Channel, eat your heart out. Oh, who am I kidding? You've already done like 20 of those movies, right? I also feel the action sequences were a ton of fun to watch. Then again, it's a Pirates movie, so you know the action will be good, plain, silly fun for all the devil's black sheep and really bad eggs in the audience. Speaking of bad, negatives. The new characters Henry and Karina aren't as strong as Will and Elizabeth and act more as a discount Will and Elizabeth. Heck, even Orlando Bloom, who, need I remind you, has a much more shorter appearance in the movie, along with somebody else, manages to make and pack more of a punch than Brenton Thwaites does throughout the entire movie's 2-hour running time. Speaking of a running time, it's important to note that despite this being the shortest of the Pirates films, it still has pacing issues aplenty. For example, the opening flashback and flash-forward sequence with Henry was far too rushed in my opinion. There was also a scene where Jack is dealing with marrying this lady in order to pay off a debt to a pirate whose name escapes me, that I think could have been easily cut out. It was short at least. Also, the new crew members they got for Barbossa don't have much character of their own. They just seem to be there because British soldiers. I don't know. There's also an ending that is really disheartening as a character, well, exits, so to speak. It kinda works on an emotional level, but it was kind of dissatisfying for me being such a huge fan of this particular character. Conclusion. Overall, Pirates of the Caribbean 5 Dead Men Tell No Tales is a visually entertaining swashbuckler that, while not quite living up to the same magical charm of The Curse of the Black Pearl, with its dull new side characters and poor pacing issues, still manages a fun, goofy, and cheesily silly adventure that keeps showing why this particular franchise is still somehow holding water, even several years later since the original film's release in 2003. Now, if only Michael Bay could learn to make more films like this, we might be able to have some hope in this world. Nah, that's a fool's wish. I give Dead Men Tell No Tales 2.5 bottles of rum out of 4. Until next time, catch you on the high tides real soon. Now prepare to make sail. Hold your wind and hold your water.
Led through the mist by the milk light of moon, all that was lost is revealed.